Okay, let's dive in. Imagine a world where, well, seeing just isn't believing anymore, where maybe a video you see online, something shocking, could be totally fake, but it looks completely real. Sounds like sci-fi, right? But it's not. We're talking about deepfakes. And today, we're doing a deep dive using your sources, and that includes some really fascinating bits from Deepfakes, the peril and promise of synthetic reality. So our mission here is to help you unpack what these things actually are, and maybe more importantly, the real threats they pose, and crucially, what's being done about it. We want to give you the tools, the knowledge to sort of navigate this digital world, a shortcut to being genuinely well-informed. Okay, so let's start with the basics then. What exactly are deepfakes, if you had to explain it simply?
Right, well, at its core, a deepfake is synthetic media. Basically, it's where someone's likeness, their face, their voice, how they move, it's all digitally changed or even completely generated using AI.
AI, okay.
Yeah, specifically deep learning. We're talking about some quite sophisticated stuff like GANs, generative adversarial networks. Yeah, think of it like two AIs in a contest. One makes the fake, the other tries to spot it, and they just keep getting better and better, pushing each other.
Ah, okay. So they learn fast.
Extremely fast, which means the fakes become incredibly convincing. And the real kicker here isn't just that they can do it, but how easily they can make videos or audio or pictures that show people saying or doing things they simply never did. It really fundamentally shakes that trust we have in what we see and hear.
And it's not just one kind of thing, is it? The sources mention different types. What are the main ones we should be aware of?
That's a good point. The most common one people might have seen is the face swap in videos, putting a celebrity's face on someone else's body, that kind of thing.
Right, I've seen those online.
Exactly. Then there's voice cloning, which can sound eerily like anyone saying anything.
Anything.
Pretty much. And we're even seeing fully AI-powered synthetic people, like news anchors or influencers who look and sound totally real, but they're not, they're artificial, okay? And the impact, it comes from just how perfectly they can mimic reality, which makes them a powerful tool for good things sometimes, but also, for malicious stuff.
Okay, let's lean into that malicious side for a bit.
Yeah.
Because the sources really highlight some pretty concerning dangers.
Yeah.
Where does it get really tricky?
Yeah, this is where it gets quite serious. One of the biggest, most immediate threats is definitely misinformation. Fake news, basically.
Okay.
Deepfakes can be, weaponized. Used to spread lies in politics, journalism, even global affairs, and super fast.
Like how?
Well, imagine a really convincing video, maybe a world leader seemingly declaring war, or a CEO announcing the company's bankrupt, or even a celebrity endorsing some random product they'd never touched.
Right.
That stuff can go viral instantly all around the world before anyone can even check if it's real. And it can cause panic, crash stock markets, stir up trouble.
Before the truth even gets its boots on.
Exactly. The speed and scale are just unprecedented, and this feeds directly into a really severe threat to democracy. Think about elections, right? So much happens on social media now. Voters can be totally manipulated by fake videos of politicians seeming to say or do awful things, and the scary part isn't just the initial reaction. It's that even after it's proven fake,
The damage is done.
the damage is often done, yeah. Trust is eroded, opinions are swayed. It's really hard to undo. Then there's another, frankly, devastating angle: cyberbullying and harassment, specifically non-consensual deepfake pornography. It overwhelmingly targets women, and it's tragically easy because faces can just be lifted from public social media profiles.
That's awful.
It is. It causes just profound harm, personal, professional. It's a nightmare for victims. And it doesn't stop there. It hits businesses too. Corporate espionage, fraud.
Does that work?
Well, scammers are using deepfakes now. They can impersonate an executive's voice, maybe even their appearance in a video call.
No way.
Yes. To trick employees into, say, transferring money or giving away secret information. The source material actually gives this powerful example. A CEO's voice was cloned.
Cloned?
Yeah, cloned perfectly, and used to authorize a completely fake money transfer, hundreds of thousands of dollars. The employees were totally convinced it was their boss.
Wow. So this isn't theoretical, it's actually happening.
It's happening now, definitely.
That example is, truly sobering. So if we can't trust our eyes or ears, if real evidence can just be waves away as potentially fake.
Mm-hmm.
What does this reality decay you mentioned, what does that really mean for us, for you listening right now?
Well, it leads to something really unsettling. It's called the liar's dividend.
The liar's dividend.
Yeah, it's where, because everyone knows fakes exist, people can dismiss real evidence, actual recordings, genuine videos, just by claiming, oh, that must be a deepfake.
Ah, I see. So actual criminals could get away with things.
Exactly. Bad actors can escape accountability.
Oh.
Because in a world where anything could be fake, the truth itself gets lost. It becomes slippery. And for you, the listener, it means you have to fundamentally change how you engage with information online. You just can't automatically assume what you see or hear is real anymore.
That sounds incredibly difficult, exhausting almost. So, okay, with all these challenges, what are the sources saying about fighting back? Is there anything we can do against this deepfake deluge? Are there countermeasures? Any hope?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not all hopeless. There's definitely a multi-layered defense strategy emerging, which is, encouraging.
Okay, like what?
So on the tech side, you've got companies, big ones like Microsoft, Adobe, working on detection tools, using AI itself, actually, forensic AI, plus things like digital watermarks to try and spot manipulations.
Right, fighting fire with fire.
Kinda, yeah. Then there are other ideas, like using blockchain to create a sort of verifiable history for photos and videos, like a digital birth certificate proving it hasn't been altered. And you also have these big initiatives, like the Content Authenticity Initiative, CAI and C2PA. They're trying to set standards for metadata. So basically, data embedded in the file that shows where it came from, its whole history.
Okay, so tech solutions are part of it. What else?
Well, beyond tech, there's policy. Laws.
Regulation.
Exactly. Governments around the world are starting to bring in laws to criminalize the malicious use of deepfakes. You see it in the EU's AI Act in California. Even China has rules now. And social media platforms, they're trying, flagging content, taking down manipulated stuff. But let's be honest, enforcement is patchy. It often feels like a game of whack-a-mole.
Right, they take one down, two more pop up.
Pretty much. Which leads to perhaps the most vital piece of the puzzle. Media literacy.
Educating people.
Yes. Empowering people, everyone, to look critically at what they see online. That's just crucial.
That makes sense. And it raises a really important question for you, the listener. How can you actually do that? How can you become a better digital detective scrolling through your feeds? What should you look out for?
That's the key question, isn't it? We need to get much better at asking basic things. Who made this? Where did it really come from? What's the original source?
Okay.
And crucially, is anyone else reporting this? Especially credible news outlets. Has it been verified anywhere else? If something seems just too wild, too perfectly outrageous, or too good to be true, pause. Question it.
So be skeptical.
Be healthily skeptical. Yeah, that personal vigilance. It sounds small, but if everyone does it, it's actually a really powerful defense. Every time you pause, verify, and don't share something dubious, you're helping.
It's easy, though, to just focus on the scary stuff, the dangers, and they're clearly significant. But digging into these sources, it's also apparent that this AI-generated media, it has positive uses, too, right?
Yeah.
It's not all doom and gloom.
Oh, absolutely not. That's a really important point. This underlying technology, it has amazing potential for good. Like what? Well, think about entertainment. Much more realistic dubbing for films across languages, incredible visual effects, even de-aging actors seamlessly for flashbacks or historical roles.
Okay, cool.
Or education. Imagine generating learning materials instantly in any language, making education truly global, or even creating lifelike avatars of historical figures to teach history.
That could be cool.
And accessibility is a huge one, giving voices back to people who've lost theirs through synthesized speech, creating new ways for people with disabilities to communicate. It's transformative.
So a tool that can be used for good or ill.
Precisely. Which brings us right to the big ethical questions. The source material really flags these, like who gets to control this incredibly powerful technology? Should everyone have access to tools that can create perfect fakes? And where do we draw the lines? What boundaries do we need to set to make sure the benefits actually outweigh these pretty significant risks?
Yeah, those aren't easy questions to answer.
Not at all. And society really needs to think about them carefully, collectively.
So as we wrap up this deep dive then, the big takeaway seems clear. We really are stepping into an age where seeing isn't always believing. Deepfake tech is kind of a marvel, an innovation, but its misuse is a serious threat. to truth, to trust, to how society functions.
Absolutely. And tackling it isn't simple. It needs that global, multi-layered approach we talked about. You need the regulation, the tech, the education, and a real focus on developing AI ethically.
Right.
There's a really powerful closing thought in our source material that kind of sums it up. It says, as deepfakes grow more indistinguishable from reality, the responsibility falls on us, meaning everyone, individuals, companies, governments, to safeguard the truth in a digital age full of illusion.
Safeguard the truth in an age of illusion. That's quite a thought to leave people with.
It is. It's a call, really, for all of us to stay curious, stay vigilant, and keep thinking about how you personally can play a part in protecting truth in this new digital world.